Hey, good Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon for your noon forecast. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox with Hail Trace. Today, your big headlines are another risk for hail and high wind in several different areas across the plains and the Midwest. We are also watching storms for tomorrow and Sunday. So we do have an increased tornado risk for tomorrow. Large hail, especially out in the panhandle of Texas into New Mexico, and then another round for storms through Oklahoma on Sunday. So a little bit of everything as we head into the weekend. Taking a look at what we saw yesterday, we actually did see some decent hail reports anywhere from Minnesota all the way down to northern Iowa. However, if you head farther down to the south here, most of these look like wind reports, but we did get one impressive hail report up in Pawnee, Oklahoma. That was for golf ball sized hail. So Oklahoma, a little surprise hailstorm there. We knew we would see storms. We did not think that the hail was going to be that large, but you know, they always say that about Oklahoma, that our weather can definitely surprise you. Also, talking about some impressive hail here, 2 years ago today, we had a 4-star hail map out in Minneapolis. So this was on the east side of the city near St. Paul, and then as you kind of head farther down to the south and east here, you can see that we had some really impressive hail here. We had a 3-inch size hail up to the size of about a baseball. Over 68,000 people were impacted, but the largest hail size was over about 5,000 houses. It lasted for about 10 minutes. It was pretty isolated, but nonetheless, a 4-star map just proving to us that yes, we can still have hailstorms this time of the year in September. Now that was 2 years ago. Minneapolis, not in the risk for storms today. We have a risk out near the Midwest, another risk for some strong to severe showers and storms through Kansas today. Right now, we're pretty dry across most of the Midwest. Just to the east of Chicago, we're getting a few showers and storms right now. We are dry through our New England states, showers and storms through Florida and the deep south, no showers and storms in this area, and then we're dry off to the west as well. So most of us dry this morning except for New Mexico. That's going to change later on today as we have another round of showers and storms moving through. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes, but let's get to your temperatures right now. It's toasty outside right now, especially for this time of the year. We're at 88 here in Oklahoma City, 91 in Dallas, 87 in Kansas City. But if you head farther to the west and even up to the north, after Minneapolis got storms last night, we cooled down a little bit. We are much cooler farther off into our western communities in the 60s and 70s. Ooh, that would feel nice. Few clouds out there right now in Chandler, 91. We've got 96 in Pawnee, a surprise 88 in Norman, 88 in Oklahoma City as well, 90s down in Dallas. So it's definitely toasty out there. It's going to be really, really warm this afternoon as well. Actually, yesterday in Oklahoma City, we hit a record. Our previous record was 98. We hit 99 yesterday. That previous record was held for 70 years until yesterday when we broke it. You know, for some people, that is not the type of record that you want to be seeing. Speaking of 99, that's what it feels like right now down in Dallas. 100 is what it feels like in Shreveport right now, so you can see the warmest areas across the U.S. right here. Now, let's talk about storms for today. We do have those showers and storms expected from the Midwest and then through the plains as well. You can see that we've got some really good unstable air. That instability causes air to rise, and you understand what goes up must come down, and that's what we're going to see later on today with showers and storms throughout 2 different areas mainly across the U.S. Let's take a look at the hail risk here. Some decent hail risk, mainly down in Kansas. That's the best chance to see some of that larger hail. We've got places like Garden and Dodge City down there with the potential for larger hail today. Wichita, maybe seeing that hail risk, but you can see as we head a little bit farther up into the Midwest, we're really not seeing too much in terms of a hail risk up there. Let's take a look at the radar. We can go hour by hour for you here. So what we're watching for, there we go, are those showers and storms farther out to the Midwest. And then we've got a line that'll track down, but coming to the south of Kansas City. Another line of storms. There you go, Kansas City into areas like Wichita, and I mentioned Garden and Dodge City as well. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here because I think I have your hail forecast, and then we'll go hour by hour. Okay, now if you look at the Storm Prediction Center, they have some smaller hail sizes in this area. I went ahead and upped the hail sizes anywhere from Garden City all the way up to Wichita. Now I may later on, I'll look at some of the models after this, cut Kansas City off of here. Kansas City right on the edge here. I think about 1.25 inches is right about what we could see in Kansas City if we get storms there today. I don't think it's going to go up to 1.5 inches in hail size. However, if we do see any of that larger hail, I think it'll be between Garden City and Wichita. Pretty low chance for Lincoln to get some of that larger hail today. And then if you look a little bit farther off to the Midwest, that is where we have a chance for smaller hail and a pretty low risk with that as well. You just saw your hail map. We don't have a really good chance for larger hail in this area today. So we'll of course be tracking that for you. Your wind risk does go up in this area in places like Indianapolis and Fort Wayne. Alrighty, moving on here. If I can get my clicker working, possibly. You guys can see, I'm pressing the button. All right, here, let's talk about your wind risk today. Garden City to Wichita, we also have that wind risk. If we can get storms to fire, models seem to have some trouble with these storms today in this area. However, we're a lot more consistent farther out into the Midwest, where I do think that we could get some stronger wind here, up to about 65 to 70 miles an hour, anywhere from Fort Wayne to Indianapolis, and even farther down into the southern central portion of Missouri. So if you are I know we've got some lakes down here, make sure that you are keeping an eye on the forecast today. It's a great day for the lake. It is so hot out there, but I want you to make sure that you're keeping an eye on those storms. Max forecasted hail size here, ping pong ball sized hail, right around 1.5 inches in size. That would be in that area in Kansas. Central, southern Kansas is where we're watching for the largest hail. Alrighty, let's take a look at your future radar here. I do think the winds could get up to about 65 to 70 miles an hour. There you go, hour by hour in this area from St. Louis all the way just to the east of Chicago. These storms will come through the late evening, late night hour. Here we are about 8:30 here. Still watching these storms progress to the east, but I think by about midnight, a lot of those storms are going to be gone. Taking you farther down to the south here, as I mentioned, ping pong ball sized hail is possible with 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds. You can see that models are really struggling to put storms on the board here. I think this will come through the afternoon and evening hours. If we can get storms initiated, I think they could be strong to severe. However, it looks like models are just really struggling to put that on the board here. It looks like we'll have a second round of storms through the late night hours tonight, anywhere from Omaha up to Kansas City. This is something that those models can actually agree on. So if you wake up in the middle of the night with some thunder or lightning out your window, make sure you have several ways to receive weather alerts. Of course, we map storms 24/7 here at Hail Trace, so we'll make sure that we are watching those storms as well. This could last through the early morning hours, so if you're an early riser up through northern Missouri into southern Nebraska, southern Iowa, you could have a wet start to your Saturday. Alrighty, let's take a look at tomorrow, because I mentioned earlier that we not only have a chance for hail today, but also for tomorrow, and then again on Sunday. So we have several days in a row here to keep an eye on the forecast. Taking a look out to the east here, Pittsburgh, pretty low chance for that hail risk. Into the northern plains, anywhere from Omaha to Des Moines, I went ahead and put a moderate risk level for still hail on the smaller size. However, I could see this hail size going up here. So I'll take a look at the models. I know it's Saturday, but I'll take a look at the models tomorrow, and I'll see if I can get us to that 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches ping pong ball sized hail in this area. Models, I was kind of on the like in between, you know, should I go smaller side? Should I go a little bit larger there? We're still so far out that I want to see some more model runs before I bring that hail size up. However, one of the most impressive areas tomorrow will be farther down into the panhandle of Texas and into New Mexico. Now, if I was a storm chaser and I saw this, I would be going to this area tomorrow to watch these storms, not only for that hail risk, but also for that tornado risk. So you can see on the western side of Texas and then on the eastern side of New Mexico, that is where we're watching for that tornado risk. It is a low risk right now, but it is something to keep an eye on. The good news about this is that there are not a lot of people that live in this area, so whether we see a tornado, thankfully there's not a ton of people impacted here. However, I think the roads aren't great to maneuver through here. So if you are storm chasing in this area, make sure you have a good layout of the land before you get into a sticky situation, because the road's just not great in that area. Alrighty, let's take a look at Sunday. So we're on our day 3 of storms now, coming right through Oklahoma City. Hail trace is based in the northern side of Oklahoma City in Edmond. So this is back here at home, bringing the storms back anywhere from Lubbock all the way through Oklahoma, up to Wichita, and including Kansas City now. Now we will see showers and storms through this area, but I think what a lot of people are excited about is the cool down that comes after this. Temperatures next week are trending into the 70s for highs and early morning lows in the 50s and 60s. So it's gonna be a lot nicer after those storms come through as we wake up on Monday morning. Either way, we'll have an update on storms as we get a little bit closer to Sunday. We'll make sure that we are updating you as we head throughout the weekend. Okay, taking a look at your 5-day forecast for rain, you can see all those showers and storms in the areas that we talked about, that storm risk for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Looks like over the next 5 days, we're gonna get some really good rainfall through the Midwest as well. However, the Deep South staying dry. And of course, places like the Northern Plains staying dry, and then farther out to the west, staying pretty dry over the next 5 days. Tropics update now. We are looking at 2 different disturbances out in the Atlantic right now. Just a fish storm, just a bunch of clouds out there. 20% chance for cyclone formation over the next 2 days. 20% chance in the next week as well. Very, very similar for the second disturbance here. 20% chance for cyclone formation just across the board. One of the more impressive things that we're watching for is in the southern portion of the Gulf. 0% chance over the next 2 days, so we're not going to see a ton happen this weekend. However, next week at some point, we have a 40% chance for cyclone formation. So I think by the end of September, this is the area to watch. This is the area that we need to keep our eyes on. Obviously, not a lot going on there right now. However, maybe by this time next week, we could see something a lot more impressive. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Shear in this area, not great for cyclone development right now. Maybe it's these like reds and oranges and pinks that is good for cyclone formation. Other than the small corridor, not looking very promising right now. A little bit more impressive as we head farther out into the Atlantic. And sea surface temperatures, 86, not bad, still pretty warm. Still the warmest sea surface temperatures that we see is in this area that we're expecting cyclone formation next week. So this is the area to watch for. We've got tons of heat to deal with there, which will fuel that storm. Okay, talk about heat. Bringing you back home. I know I talked about a cool down after Sunday, but we have to get through this heat first. 98 in Oklahoma City for your high tomorrow. It's gonna be hot out there for that football game. 97 in Dallas, 87 in Memphis. I know a lot of these states have football games going on. You are going to sweat. Make sure you have not only your sunscreen, but drink tons of water, not only tomorrow, but also today, because you will be sweating at those games. Holy moly, we just get warmer on Sunday, but do you see the relief? Here we go, here's the relief. It's coming. Those cooler temperatures are coming in as we have showers and storms on Sunday, and then there is your cool down on Monday. 76 for a high, I'll take it. That looks awesome. 64 in Kansas City for a high on Monday. A high of 64. 73 in Denver, 72 in Rapid City. Looks a lot nicer as we head into next week. We're excited for that. Fall weather, here we come. And talk about fall, your football weather here. It does not feel like football weather. I talked about those high temperatures on Saturday. 94 at kickoff for the OU Tennessee game. 90 at halftime, mostly sunny with a south wind. So it'll be very hot at the game. Make sure you drink plenty of water again. I can't say that enough. It's going to be a good game, though. I'm very excited. It's our first SEC game here in Oklahoma. If you're going to the game, or if you just want a place to watch it, we'd love to invite you to our tailgate. Hale, Trace, and Beacon host a tailgate. It is Tent 112, easy to remember here, across from Gate 12. It is right south of Heisman Park, so go see the Heisman statues and then visit us. The tailgate starts at 3:30. Game is at 6:30. We have a big TV. We watch the game from that TV. We've got lots of chairs and everything too. However, if you want a comfortable chair, I would bring your lawn chairs. We've got cornhole too. We have a lot of fun at these tailgates. So come visit us. We'd love to see you. And thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. Happy Friday. We'll be updating you on those storms as we head into the weekend. So you can follow us and get those updates on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I mentioned that we have that 2-year hail anniversary today. 2 years ago, we had that hail through Minneapolis. I posted pictures of that hail on our Instagram and Facebook pages. It's going on TikTok next. So if you want to see pictures of some pretty impressive hail, go look at that right now. Give us a call if you would like a hail, wind, or tornado map, 855-334-4245, or email us at info@haletrace.com. Head over to our website, haletrace.com. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. We'll see you back here, same time, same place on Monday.